Hey guys, how's it going? So just making a really quick video about the range assessment in Victoria, Australia for getting your motorcycle license. I wanted to make this quick video just to give everyone out there a bit more information about what you're actually assessed on, because this is a thing that would probably give most people a bit of anxiety, and you just want to know exactly what's going to happen on the day. So essentially this is what happens before you go out on the road. If you pass this, you then move on to the on-road assessment. I might do that as a separate video another day, but I'll figure I'll start with this one nice and simple. So what I'm going to put up on screen now is essentially the range assessment sheet that I got at Vic Roads. And what we're going to go through is each of these exercises, and I've made a bit of a video sort of demonstrating each of these exercises. So the first thing that we're going to do is the walk and park the motorcycle. So this first video, essentially you're just going to be looking at your head checks, make sure that you stop with the front brake, and then put the stand down securely. So the video started a little quickly there, but essentially make sure that you squeeze that front brake, do a head check, walk the bike nice and slow, stop with the brake, put down the kickstand, have a look over your shoulder, and then let her go. That's pretty much the first exercise. Next one that you're going to be assessed on is how to actually get on the motorbike. The most important thing to remember here is this head check. There was actually a gentleman who missed out on passing. He was a great rider, but he didn't do a head check on a few of the exercises, and then he actually missed out. So the most important thing is really that head check. So here you can see I'm putting up the kickstand and getting into the ready position. They're very big on this ready position. Ready means motorcycle's running, you got your foot on the rear brake, clutch is pulled in, and you're essentially ready to go from the lights. That's the ready position. So that's mounting the bike. Next one that we're going to be doing is the auxiliary controls. So that's your indicators, horns, high beams, left indicator, right indicator. So they'll go through all these things with you on the day, of course. If you've ridden motorcycles before, this won't be too interesting for you, but if you're brand new to motorcycles, it's a little bit different to a car. Everything is controlled by your left thumb there, so you can see you're scrolling through the left indicator, right indicator, and then pushing forward to cancel. And finally the horn there is in the center. During that exercise you need to actually keep your eyes up and looking at the instructor. So the next one is going to be a controlled stop. So once again, always with the head check. Essentially what we're doing is we're stopping into a square. The square is about 1 meter by 1 meter. You can actually practice this yourself just by getting out a tape measure and drawing it with some chalk in a car park, which just like I've done here. So drive up, and then you stop in the square. That's all you're going to do. And when you stop, you're going to be in that ready position. Clutch pulled in, first gear, foot on the rear brake. Next exercise is a sharp left turn, and in my test I did this immediately after the controlled stop in the square. So once again, head check. You're going to put your left indicator on because we're going to be going down a left turn. Looking to the left, cruising around. There'll be some painted lines that you're going to go through, just like that. I've done mine with some chalk just to demonstrate. But it'll be really clear on the range when you do it. And then come into a stop in the ready position. So the slow ride is something that gives people a bit of anxiety because you have to essentially not put your feet down. With a bit of practice you can do it. I recommend just getting out a push bike. If you've got access to a push bike, you can practice this before you get to the motorcycle course, really. What they're going to get you to do is there's going to be a straight line. It's going to be about 15 meters long with 5 meters either side. Once you get into that 15 meter section, you're going to ride sort of as slow as you can, and the idea is to last 10 seconds or more without putting your feet down. So you can practice this on a push bike. It's exactly the same as a push bike. So I had a bit of an advantage because I've ridden push bikes just about my whole life, but if you're pretty confident on a push bike, you'll be able to do this, no worries. Right, the next section is about riding the curves and changing paths. So this is essentially testing out your ability to swerve around something and also go around a corner. When I did this in the car park, it was a little bit difficult for me to map it out with cones, but on the range it'll be a lot clearer. So doing a head check, proceeding, we're going to loop around to the right. I've tried to replicate the dimensions of the range in this car park here, but you'll kind of get the idea. You swerve through two lines, so that during the course they'll explain this as like tram tracks or train tracks, that sort of thing. So they're expecting you to change your direction and then go over those lines perpendicular, if you know what I mean. So pretend like they're like wet train tracks. You want to be going over them straight when you go past. That's sort of the gist. The other thing to keep in mind is those corners. They preach a start wide, end tight principle in Victoria, and it's not a bad way to go. Overall, I do agree with it. So the last exercise that we're going to be doing is the quick stop. So this is essentially like your emergency stop, effectively. So you're going to be getting up to about 20 k's per hour, and then hitting the brakes. You want to be squeezing the brakes slowly but firmly until you stop. And when you do stop, you want to be stopped in that ready position and not stalling the bike. So what they're going to be assessing you on is how quickly you can stop. So as long as you stop within, I think it is 6 meters, so give or take roughly 2 car park spaces, that's sort of what you're going to be aiming for. I might actually put a Google Maps picture of the range in Kilsyth, so then you guys can have a look, and I'll put some Google Maps links to, there's one in Somerton, I believe, and then the one that I did mine at was at Kilsyth, and you'll see that the ranges are exactly the same layout, and using Google you can just measure how wide the corners are and how long the boxes are and that sort of stuff, and you can just set up something and practice before you get there so you have a little bit more confidence. Yeah, if you had any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll try and answer as best I can. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, take it easy and speak soon.